So, hello everybody. Thank you very much for inviting me to the International Society of Presbyopia conference. And today I was invited to ask the question, are enhanced monofocal lenses quantum lenses as a new standard compared to monofocal IOLs the way to go? Where we find in this colorful IOL world the quantum IOL, it's a refractive enhanced monofocal IOL. This is a design, it's a well-proven plate haptic, especially very stable for toric IOLs, as it has 4 touch points to the capsular bag. Number 2, it can be implanted through 2.0mm incision, so it doesn't induce any astigmatism. But the most important point, it has a new optic called Q-zone optics. So this is a graph provided to me by the company Thema. And you can see the near addition independence of the pupil size, and there's a suggested ISOP effect. But to me, this is the gold standard of explanation in optics. It's the homepage of Damien Gattinal from the Fondation Rothschild en Paris. This is really a very good homepage to understand all optics, all the Q-zone optics. Even I was able to understand this optic. So this is how the quantum IOL works. This is real life results. The defocus curves, the green and the dark green one is binocular with correction, 40 patients. The light green is monocular with correction. So we can see it has clearly a higher defocus capacity than monofocal IOL. That means Q-zone optics. A good way to compare ISOP IOLs, at least in my hands, is, and to understand the optics, to use a barometry. So here I'm comparing the quantum with the comfort IOL, and as we can see, the comfort IOL induces more spherical aberration, trifoil and coma in comparison to the Q-zone optics. From clinical experience from the comfort MF15, now implanting it for 13 years, we know that patients very seldomly complain about halo and glare. But if we compare the barometry, we understand why quantum patients never ever compare about glare. So comparing the quantum to the ISOP, the Polytech IOL, I think this is a very helpful picture, partly covered by me, but still you can see it. The optical design becomes very clear and obvious in the red light reflex. And then again, if you look top right, this graph and the picture shows very nicely the spherical aberration that are induced and make us understand why it must have a little bit more halo and glare than a quantum IOL. Then the Vivity IOL I really like to implant. If we look at the photograph, slit lamp photography up, then we can see in a small pupil, even then you do see the optical design, and also very obvious in the red-right reflex of the surgical microscope. This is how the aberrometry looks like. To me, this is really not a miracle, but I think there is just a little bit induction of spherical aberration and astigmatism. I would have expected more, but it goes very good with the clinical experience that Vivity patients usually nearly never complain about halo glare or photopic phenomena. So those are the results. That means that the enhanced monofocal aberrometry shows less potential for photopic phenomena than EDOF IOL in summary. This is an implantation video. We implant this IOL through a 2-millimeter incision without viscoelastic into the capsular bag, and as you can see here, it can be done very smoothly, nicely. We implant this IOL design over 1,000 times a year, and we are very happy with it. So coming back to the question, why are we preferring quantum IOL now over a monofocal IOL? Because of its defocus curve, we clearly can see that the target refraction is more forgiving, and it has a higher defocus capacity, the monofocal IOL, and doesn't induce halo and glare of photopic phenomena more than monofocal IOLs. So in our hands, I would say with a quantum IOL you can only win. There is nothing to lose. Let's have a look at other IOL optics in multifocal IOLs, as we can see here. With the rise of near addition, we of course have halo and glare. So why are we preferring the quantum IOL over multifocal IOL? Because we don't have photopic phenomena. We have no reduction of contrast, sensitivity, and reading ability in myopic conditions. No waxy vision, no centration problems, no visual axis problems, and clear pupil independence. So with MOL, on the other hand side, you have a lot to win, but also a lot to lose if those photopic phenomena are disturbing. So the quantum, to me, no discussions, no long chair times, are a very good alternative as start in the correction of presbyopia. And still, MRL are the #1 reason for IOL explantations. And I think one reason why is because with MRL we really have to explain our patients that they will have halo and glare and photopic phenomena, a little bit of waxy vision, and those problems after surgery. We have to tell them upfront. If they accept it, I mean, they're happy. I have a lot of happy MRL patients. When it comes to retreatment options, the winner again is EDOF blended vision, because you can correct in MRL outliers. Yes, you can do that, but you have to do a LASIK or an add-on IOL afterwards. And not everybody has an excimer laser at home or in his surgical environment. Refractive surgeons, yes, but usually cataract surgeons, they don't have it. They implant an IOL where they cannot take care of the consequences, and the patients are unhappy. On the other hand, if you use EDOF blended vision, if the patient wants better distance, better reading, better quality of vision, or complication management, it simply is better to correct. So we are using those IOLs models, EDOF enhanced monofocals, now for 13 years. We use them very individually, different IOL models. I implant around about 15 different IOLs. So our strategy #1 in Düsseldorf is when we target for emetropia, the most easiest part, the patients need reading glasses but can have a good vision at strategy #2 is we use a mini blended vision, and this is also scientifically proven, of course. Then reading glasses are only rarely. We do a real monovision, which in this case is a blended vision, and then patients only need reading glasses for small print, but they can read a book. On the other hand, of course, we have to inform our patients the neuroadaptation time is 3 months. Now, looking at the neuroadaptation time, this is a very nice publication from Dan Reistein, where he showed that 97% of the patients tolerate blended vision, and we have now in 13 years surely done over 8,000 cases, and only 3 retreatments to emetropia were needed. All other patients are fine with blended vision, but of course we have to tell them upfront that neuroadaptation takes 6 to 12 weeks. And here's a nice publication for those who are interested. Neuroadaptation works. Proof of concept, I did the presbyopia of SmartServe TransPRK for myself, and since then I don't need glasses for far, for PC, for laptop, or for mobile phone. Just if I look very near, I do need glasses. And because I don't need small print, and I don't have to look very near, I had my laser surgery 3 years ago, and since then I use glasses. I can only recommend it to everybody. So the quantum in our hands, in our point of view, is not only better but also safer. It's better than monofocal IOL because it's a higher percentage of hitting the target refraction. You have a higher defocus capacity. And better than multifocal IOL because you have no photopic phenomenon, no centration problems, pupil independency, and better retreatment options, so a better risk management. And the quantum is adjustable to every patient's needs if you use a. So at the end, it's a very individual approach. You can make nearly every patient happy with a quantum or an if you respect his wishes. Then do we still implant MRIs in Düsseldorf? If blended vision now is a holy grail, yes, of course. It's still 10%. Why? Those are people who don't drive cars at night, who say, no, doctor, I don't want to have two different eyes, who accept photopic phenomena. Very important after having seen charts and halo glare simulations. I think this is a very important part. I did not have in the last 15 years to explant a single MRL. Why? Because I'm very stringent with an indication for surgery. And those patients, and that's a nice part about it as well, they are able to read even small print without glasses. Now coming back at the beginning of my presentation, this was a question, and yes, I think it's definitely better than a standard compared to monofocal IOL, the quantum IOL, and yes, it is almost better than MRLs in most patients, in 90%. So is there a clinical significance? Yes, I think so. The better is the enemy of the good, as Voltaire said. So we nearly stopped implanting monofocal IOL, and we reduced the MRL implantation rate in favor of EDOF and enhanced IOL, or make it understandable. Okay, this is not fair, but I hope it's a little bit funny. Thank you very much for your kind attention.